God-given home deserves complete immersion in its management. These interviews should be mandatory in a world where if you don't see it with your own eyes, it may not be true. Rusk County must demand the highest standard, and we're grateful for the opportunity to try and meet that demand this evening. First things first, I'd like to welcome Mr. Ryan Ellis up to the stage to lead us in a prayer, please.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, just thank you for this day that we can gather together, Lord. Just thank you for this country and this community we live in, where we can vote freely on a candidate to represent us, and just let us do our good judgment as we hear these candidates tonight. Just be with them as they get up and speak on their views, and let's vote for the person that you have for us to represent this country. Just thank you so much for our freedom, for the community and the county we live in, and for all the many great people here. Just let us be safe as we travel home. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Ryan. And now I'd like to welcome Troop 219 from Scouting America. They will be presenting the colors for the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge.
Color Guard, attention. Audience, please rise. Color Guard, present the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for the Texas Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one Color Guard, please return the colors. Color Guard at ease, audience at ease.
Thank you very much, Troop 219. Tonight we have a lot of elected officials in the room, some that will be in the program, some that won't. If you're an elected official and you're in the room and you're not in the program tonight, please stand and raise your hand. Please, make it easy for everybody to see you. I got commissioners, I got councilmen, JPs, I got people everywhere. I got judges. Thank you very much for being here tonight, folks. I appreciate your supporting the community. Now we're going to go to work for Rusk County. Leading off the program will be our party chairs for Rusk County. Please know that all candidates have drawn for position and the order of events is pre-planned. For the very few that do speak that are uncontested, they will make a statement only and have been allowed to do so for the benefit of the business community. Please welcome the Republican Party Chairman, Ms. Rachel Hale, and the Democratic Party Chairman, Mr. Mark Wheeler. Just have a seat and we'll get started. Ms. Hale, we'll ask for your statement first, and you'll have 3 minutes.
The Republican Party is a private grassroots association formed to advance a conservative philosophy of government. It does so by promoting conservative principles and providing the infrastructure for like-minded citizens to engage in the political process. Affirming our belief in God, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with a certain unalienable right, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We seek to preserve the freedoms granted by God, implemented by our founding fathers, and embodied in the Constitution. We recognize that human nature is immutable, that the traditional family is the foundation of a strong nation, and that protecting innocent life and cultivating responsible citizens is a solemn duty. We further understand that economic prosperity depends on free market principles, and that sovereignty is essential to preserving these ideals. A central objective in restoring the Rusk County Republican Party has been to preserve it as a grassroots-driven organization. Although county and precinct chairs appear on the ballot, the Republican Party is not a governmental body. It does not represent the people in the same manner as city councils, commissioner courts, or legislatures. Rather, it represents the Republican principles, platform, and conservative values. We organize Republicans, we support and elect Republican candidates, and we hold Republican elected officials accountable to the values they pledge to uphold when running on the Republican ballot. Benjamin Franklin warned that we were given a constitutional republic if we can keep it. Keeping it requires engaged citizens, accountability, and the courage to speak when power overreaches. Accountability is not optional in a free society. It is essential. From approximately 2010 to 2012 until March 2024, the party was effectively inactive. The statutory duties under Texas election law and the requirements of the Republican Party of Texas were unfulfilled. In March 2024, the number of precinct chairs increased from 4 to 10. In August 2024, I was unanimously appointed county chair when the sitting chair resigned minutes before the organizational meeting. From August 2024 to present, we established a temporary headquarters and centralized location for candidates and their signs. We funded operations with donations for Trump gear. We distributed donated U.S. constitutions and 28 principles of liberty brochures. We organized a Trump parade. We distributed 7,000 double-sided door hangers at football games, rodeos, and community events. We placed 2,500 biblical principles along with door hangers on vehicles at churches throughout Rusk County. We mailed 8,400 postcards to encourage voter turnout, provide voting information, announce party reactivation, and recruit precinct chairs and volunteers. We expanded our precinct chairs from 10 to 18 and then adjusted to 16. We conducted consistent monthly county party meetings. We hosted precinct chair training, constitutional boot camp, 5 countywide candidate and campaign training, tactical civics. We've hosted speakers on school choice, the battery energy storage systems, casino expansion, the globalist agenda, and Don't California My Texas. We've welcomed attendees from 9 counties, including other precinct and county chairs and other elected officials. We maintained a presence at school board, city council, and commissioner court meetings. We've distributed and laminated 737 Ten Commandments posters for all of Rusk County schools. We conducted candidate forums. We initiated an election integrity study. We've passed multiple resolutions, several of which were submitted to the State Republican Executive Committee and passed unanimously. Notably was our CARE resolution, later adopted by other counties. It's used to support the first Judeo-Christian Day at the Texas Capitol, and it's referenced in a ballot proposition. The remote kill switch resolution was taken to Washington, D.C. in June 2025 and distributed to over 150 congressional offices. Rusk County GOP members actively participated in conventions and the legislative process, providing written and oral testimony, making calls, and engaging directly at the Texas Capitol.
Thank you, Ms. Hale. Short time. There are added chairs in the back, and the speakers are on, and now I have fixed my mic problem. I apologize for the interruption. Mr. Wheeler, we'll let you roll through all the way.
All right.
Thank you.
Can you hear me? All right. Good afternoon. My name is Mark Wheeler, and I serve as the chair of the Rusk County Democratic Party. I'm running unopposed for a second term. I guess I'm doing a good job, or we couldn't find anybody else to do it. Something. I appreciate the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this forum and for giving voters the chance to hear directly from the people who want to represent them. I want to start with a simple observation about Texas politics. For more than 30 years now, Texas has effectively operated as a one-party state. Republicans have held almost every lever of power at the state level since the early 1990s. And that's not an exaggeration, it's simply a historic record. And the larger point is this: no system performs well without competition. In business, competition drives innovation, it forces better service, better prices, and better ideas. In government, it does the same thing. When one party dominates for decades, accountability weakens, ideas go unchallenged, and complacency can set in, regardless of which party is in charge. Having two competitive and functioning parties helps produce leaders who have listened broadly, compromised when necessary, and deliver results. Today, we've lost much of that balance. And when we look at the outcomes, especially here in East Texas, we should be willing to ask hard questions. Texas Congressional District 1 consistently ranks near the bottom in key economic indicators: income levels, educational attainment, health outcomes, and access to opportunity. We work hard here, We raise families here. We serve our communities here. Yet too often, we find ourselves lagging behind other parts of the state and the country. That should that should concern everyone in this room, no matter their party affiliation. A healthy two-party system doesn't guarantee better results, but it does guarantee better scrutiny, better debate, and better pressure on those in power to deliver for the people they serve. So, my message today is simple. Texas is stronger when voters have real choices. East Texas is stronger when leaders know they're accountable. And democracy works best when no one takes power or voters for granted. Thank you for being here, and thank you for caring enough about this community to participate. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, both of you. I really appreciate your time tonight. Next, if the candidates for County Commissioner Precinct 2 would approach the podium, we'll do that next. Mr. Jamie Yoakum, you're candidate number 1 in this race, and you'll give your introduction first. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Jamie Yoakum, and I'm running for Rusk County Commissioner Precinct 2. I'm a longtime resident of Rusk County. I'm married to Angela and have 2 sons, Colby and Jesse. After high school, I attended Southeastern Free Will Baptist College and Panola College, where I studied business administration. And later I attended the East Texas Police Academy. Since 1998, I have proudly served the people of Rusk County through the Sheriff's Office, where I've served in several leadership roles. My service has been in leadership skills has helped me to be an effective leader, and I believe it will carry on into my leadership as Precinct 2 Commissioner. As Commissioner, my priority will be maintaining an office that is transparent, accessible, and accountable. I will work closely with elected officials with their budget and to address the needs of the county. I will support the county's workforce to improve morale, increase retention, and attract qualified applicants. But most importantly, I will carefully guard the taxpayers' dollars, eliminate any wasteful spending, and ensure that the county operates efficiently and in the best of the interest of Rusk County. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yoakum. Commissioner Robert Kirkendall is candidate number 2, and he will speak next.
Good evening, everyone. I appreciate you coming here to the forum tonight. I'm Robert Kirkendall. I'm your current County Commissioner in Precinct 2. I've served the citizens of Rusk County for the past 7 years as your Commissioner. I'm seeking re-election and continuing my service to the citizens of Rusk County. As a lifelong resident of Rusk County, my wife Joyce and I are proud to call Tatum home. We could not be more proud of the community we live in. Joyce and I, along with our family, have been and will continue to be very involved in our community and all of Rusk County. I'm a 3rd-generation Commissioner of Precinct 2. I'm the son of the late Harold Kirkendall, who served also as Precinct 2 Commissioner for 25 years. Therefore, coming from a long line of public service, I know firsthand what the duties and responsibilities are. I gained much knowledge from watching what a true servant meant. I've worked to build upon that knowledge, working tirelessly each day to serve with heart, understanding, and determination to do what's best for all. I honestly believe that God's placed me in this position so that I might be able to give back to the community that I love, to be able to serve others, and to make a difference. I've served the citizens these past 7 years with loyalty, leadership, dedication, and a work ethic second to none. I pledged early on to be accessible to each of you, to return your calls, to listen, to work together to resolve any issues or concerns you might have, and I believe that I have done just that. My desire is for every citizen to know that they are valued and they deserve to be heard. I'm a very hands-on, day-to-day operation type commissioner, whether it's my duties as far as being in my office, out on the roads with my crew, or my duties in Commissioner's Court. I take that responsibility serving my constituents very seriously. I've always been and will continue to be a conservative voice on the Commissioner's Court. I have and will continue to work well alongside the members of the Commissioner's Court to ensure the decision we make will be beneficial for the county, to the citizens, and to represent my precinct to the best of my ability. I've been involved in multiple endeavors that have benefited Rusk County.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right, we're going to ask if the audience can hold your applause till the candidates are finished with both questions and all rebuttals, please. And we'll start with question number 1. Commissioner Kirkendall, you will take this question first. If the county was to pass a budget that for whatever reason contained less than the precinct required or wished to have for its road budget, what measures would you employ to bridge that gap? And would you feel free to expand on your personal beliefs on the budget in that light?
Well, what we have right now as far as in our budget, which we do have line items such as for the oil sand that we do put out on the roads, for gravel and remix, which that comes as far as coal mix, things like that that we use. And what I already do is we have a line item called equipment purchases, and that's what it's for, is to buy equipment. But so many times, to be able to do what we would like to do as far as repairing roads and what have you, I have to dip into that equipment purchases. And it's a lot of times it's a hard decision to make because, as you all know, things have gone up. They've gone up so much. But that's just the way it is. I'm proud to say that I have never asked for a penny to be added into my budget. I make do with what I have, and I'm proud of that. And I have a great group of guys that work for me. We try to make the materials that we buy spread as far as what we can, and I'm proud of the way I run things.
Joachim, do you need me to repeat the question? If the county was to pass a budget that for whatever reason contained less than the precinct required for the annual road maintenance in that precinct, what measures would you employ to bridge that gap? And please feel free to expand on your personal beliefs in the budget in the light when it comes to road maintenance.
I believe to bridge the gap, sorry, you would possibly have to go through line item transfers. I know the county currently, they do have a rollover budget. You could present it to the court to help cover your costs. You just try to be as fiscally responsible as you could be.
Thank you. Commissioner, did you have any rebuttal on that question?
Yes, as far as the budget, when the budget is set in by state law, we have to have it set, I believe, by September. We don't ever transfer money out of the budget. That budget is set. We have the items that have been budgeted for, and we never vary from that. It's just something that we can't do. It's something that you don't want to do, and so that's really not an option. You're going to have to figure out with what you have in your own budget, the best thing to pull that money from for road maintenance, and that just comes with experience. That's something we deal with quite often.
Thank you, Commissioner. We're going to go to question number 2. Mr. Yoakum, you'll take this question first. Discuss in detail Precinct 2. What areas of growth and change Precinct 2 are on your radar, and what specific new services or changes you would bring to Precinct 2 over this term in office?
During time visiting folks, one of the changes I would make is I've seen several areas in the county. Sorry. I've seen several areas in the county where the roads are, for lack of a better term, are not properly maintained. several areas, Airport Gardens, Hurst Edition, then other county roads near that area. Citizens and taxpayers have all expressed to me how that they're regularly not maintained, and the upkeep is horrible in them. That's one thing I'd like to change, is for all of Precinct 2 get equal services throughout the entire precinct.
Commissioner, you have 2 minutes. Would you like me to reread the question?
Yes, please.
Discuss in detail Precinct 2. What areas of growth and change in Precinct 2 are on your radar, and what specific new services or changes would you bring to Precinct 2 over this term of office?
Well, one thing that we have right now in our precinct and across the county, we've had so many people that's moved in our area, and that's a great thing. And also, with people comes more traffic. It comes with people wanting their trash pickup. I know that may not sound like much of a deal, but when these trash trucks go down the roads, I will say they're not helping them at all. And also in my precinct, I have 206 miles of road. And again, like I said earlier, I make do with what I have. I'm also proud of the fact that, well, let me say this. As a commissioner, obviously you would want to work on a road that's the most well-traveled, the one that's out there all the time. But I'm the type also that I believe on some of these smaller roads, even some dead-end roads, the people that live on those roads deserve a good road just like someone does that lives in a neighborhood. In this past year, that's a lot of the areas that I've hit is being able to help those people out. I'm a representative, like I said earlier, of all the constituents in my precinct, not just a certain few. And as far as the maintenance on it, we're out every day. Myself, my foreman, I listen to feedback from my guys that are out working, what they found when they're out and about, and I try my best to address that. And I think when you, anyone that's been in office for a while, they know that it's a balancing act. It just takes a while to get to some of these places, and it's just the way it is. I have 12 employees that work for me, and I just have so much of equipment and so much time that I can get around. In fact, here the other day, before it got here, who would have planned on the ice storm that we've had? Everybody knows after the ice melts and all, look what we do. You've got potholes, you've got a lot of issues there. So you have to look at the big picture.
Thank you, Commissioner. Would you like to rebuttal, Mr. Yoakum?
Yeah, I believe that as far as road maintenance, if you're having trouble understanding exactly what areas the county needs to have maintenance or special attention, you need to update, possibly include an updated reporting system. Makes it easy for taxpayers to report their concerns to the commissioner. Goes back to accessibility. I just believe in our day and age, it should be as simple as getting online and just maybe filling out a quick form.
Very good. Thank you. Gentlemen, thank you for your time this evening. That'll be all. Next, we'll have Precinct 4 Commissioner candidates. Please approach the stage. Gentlemen, be patient with those mics. Sometimes if they get too close together, that's when they squeal, so just do what you can. All right, now we'll move on to Precinct 4. Our candidates are Candidate 1 is Brett Cross, Candidate 2 in the middle is Josh Few, and Candidate 3, the incumbent, Commissioner Benny Whitworth. Mr. Cross, you will give your opening statement first.
Good evening. I would like to thank the Chamber for hosting this forum and for all of you for attending tonight. My name is Brett Cross. I'm a lifelong resident of Rusk County Precinct 4. My parents are Suzanne Cross and the late Brian Cross. My wife, Melanie, and I have been married for 25 years, and I have 2 sons, Braden and Grayson. We attend the First Christian Church in Henderson. I'm an elected board member of the Good Springs Water Corporation. I've been involved in fundraising events for 2 local nonprofit organizations. As a former employee of Precinct 4, I bring 10.5 years of road and bridge experience. Being a small business owner, I'm experienced in budget management and debt reduction. I'm running for commissioner because I want to utilize our tax dollars more efficiently, increase transparency, and cut wasteful spending. I have a strong passion for the welfare of our roads, trees, vegetation due to the neglect. I will be a dedicated full-time commissioner. I do have some rack cards over here when this is over with. I was going to just invite everyone to pick one up if they would like. Please note the attention of the stray animal crisis. This was brought up by the commissioners just last week. It has been an issue that has been ignored for many years. But all of a sudden, that it's election time, the stray animal crisis was put on the commissioner's agenda just last week.
Thank you, Mr. Cross. Time's up. Our second candidate will be Mr. Josh Few. Mr. Few, you have the mic.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Josh Few. I'm thankful you're here tonight. It's not just a forum, it's a job interview. I'm originally from Cherokee County, where I had lived in Alto, Texas for 36 years, and I served on the volunteer fire department for 17 of those. Very active in the community there. In 2017, my wife and I made Rusk County our home, and we lived there ever since. We have 6 kids and 2 grandchildren. We attend New Life Tabernacle Church in Price, Texas, where our faith and fellowship mean the world to us. I believe that Rusk County needs a real change. Our roads, our bridges need a lot of attention. Budget transparency is a big issue. It has a lot of lacking in that area. And our hardworking employees deserve fair pay, not just elected officials. We know, and I know we can do that without raising taxes by just budgeting a little bit better. I'm not a politician. I'll go ahead and put that out there right now. I'm a business owner of 23 years who takes challenges head on with lots of prayer and guidance from God. I'm not part of the good old boy system. I try to do what my grandma always said, just do the right thing. I can't be bought, bribed, or bullied. I'll build a team that gets results, and I'll be the voice for the taxpayer and the county employees. I work for you, and it's time that someone was in office that realized y'all are the boss. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Few. Commissioner Whitworth?
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. I thank each of you for coming and taking part in this process, because our elections are important. This is an important decision that we'll make to lead our community forward. My name is Benny Whitworth. I'm the current county commissioner. I've served in that capacity the last 7 years. My wife Emily and my son Baxter are back here at the table. They're the highlight of my life, and I appreciate them and their support. As your county commissioner, I've worked hard to be a conservative voice on the Commissioner's Court. I've also made sure that I was accessible as far as leaving my cell phone number on our answer machine at the office, putting it on my post as we update things and events that are going on. I serve well in the community. I'm a deacon at Calvary Baptist Church. I'm the president of the Texas Farm Bureau. I've served on the Rusk County Groundwater Conservation District Board, the Youth Project Show Board. I've been a coach out at the HBBA baseball teams, and so I do and pour out everything that I can into the community. I think that's important from a leadership standpoint, to be a part and out in and amongst our people and to serve wholeheartedly. I've done those things and been at those volunteer events and all those long before I ever ran for a public office. I was 18 years as an ag science teacher. Some of my students are in this room, and I'm awful proud of that fact and the ability that I've had to be a part of their lives. And I think from a servant leader standpoint, it's important to be a part of the community, dedicate yourself, and to live in a way that you as constituents would be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Few, you'll take this first question first. If the county was to pass a budget that for whatever reason, if we use the no new revenue rate, for example, contains less than the precinct required for annual road maintenance in the precinct, what measures would you employ to bridge that gap? And please feel free to expand on your personal beliefs in the county budget area.
But John, obvious, Brett and I both don't know all the different spots they can draw from, but we know there is other areas that you can draw from out of the budget. But I also would say put a little bit of work in. There's a lot of state and federal grants out there that don't have strings attached that we could utilize and do a lot of good for the community instead of just letting the taxpayers pay for it all the time trying to raise taxes. That's what I would do. Is if we couldn't move it around, we didn't have another budget we could get it out of, we would try to work hard to get grants.
Any further thoughts on the budget with your remaining time? On the budget process, any further thoughts on that?
No, the budget is, I know it's tight, and there's not a lot you can do. It costs a lot of money to do these roads, and you just have to do everything you can to make that budget work. You got to cut costs everywhere you can cut costs, and that's the only thing you can do. And that's what I've done in my business for 23 years, because you can't have a wine taste on a beer budget. So you just have to make do what you can do and try to please everybody you can.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Commissioner Whitworth, you'll take the question next. Would you like me to repeat it?
No, sir, I'm ready. So on the budget process, I think it's extremely important to make sure everyone knows that Rusk County and all counties have to operate within a balanced budget. It is then our job to take the money that we have and do the best that we can do with it. And I can promise you, you talk about adopting a budget that would be insufficient to get the job done. That's every single year. We never have enough money to do what we would like to do. And so from my experience as a commissioner 7 years, I can tell you the things that I have done, which is we have utilized grants. We have utilized those types of programs. But I can tell you this, there's not a grant out there that are no strings attached. They all have strings attached and things that you have to do to keep up with. And luckily, we have a good crew in our business offices that helps keep those straight. Also, from a standpoint of managing what we have, Commissioner Kirkendall referred to it earlier. I've done the same thing, and that is moving line items to adjust to the need that is currently with us. For example, you may have a year that is extremely a wet year, and you have bridges washed out and things of that nature. Your line item for bridges is going to be astronomical, and so having to move those items over to adhere to that is crucial. Utilizing funds out of equipment purchases, like Commissioner Kirkendall referenced as well, to move those lines over into oiling. We've done that every single year that I have been in office to expand the opportunity to do more roads, get more done, and take care of things the best that we can for our taxpayers. The other part of that equation is Precinct 4 and Precinct 3 is partnered together, and we run a pug mill and utilize our own sand and make our own oil sand. We can do that at half the cost of purchasing and buying that. So though implementing those cost-saving measures, we have proven that that works and it helps.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Cross, you'll field this question next. Would you like me to repeat it?
Yes.
If the county was to pass a budget that for whatever reason, i.e. the no new revenue rate, contains less than the precinct requires for annual road maintenance in that precinct, what measures would you employ to bridge that gap? And please feel free to expand on your personal beliefs regarding the county budget.
Well, I think we could cut back on some stuff, just like our fuel. I think we waste a lot of fuel during mowing season. I think once we're done cutting the road, we need to park the mowers because we're just wasting all this fuel making round after round after round when the grass is already cut. And I think that would be a way right there to save, you know, and the same thing in the fall with the boom tractors. You know, it's a seasonal tool, and I think that that stuff needs to be parked during the off season, and I think that would save us a lot of extra money right there to compensate for that.
Mr. Few, you have 30 seconds for rebuttal if you wish.
Just the same thing, everything revolves back around of just being budget, being a good steward of the money and not wasting it where it needs to be. Areas you can cut, that's where you got to cut.
All right, we'll move on to question 2 then. And question 2 will go to Commissioner Whitworth. Discuss in detail Precinct 4. What areas of growth and change in Precinct 4 are on your radar? What specific new services or changes do you plan on bringing to Precinct 4 over this term in office?
Excellent question, and I'm proud to address this one because since I've come into office, a passion of mine has been to expand the runway out at the airport. I think it's a crucial part of our economic development here, not just for Precinct 4, but the entire county. And just to give you a little insight into that, by expanding the runway, we're able to allow jet aircraft to land at the airport. One jet aircraft takes on the same amount of fuel as 30 airplanes. So if we just had 5 jet aircraft housing out at our airport, that's equivalent of 150 airplanes purchasing fuel from us. So that revenue coming in would be a surplus to us to allow us to do more things. The money that is generated at the airport and the expo center from oil royalties has to be, it's state mandated, it has to be spent on those facilities. And so that would be a tremendous area excuse me, that I would like to see, and we're very close. We've gone through all the steps to get that done. We're putting in Jet A fuel now at the airport to allow us to get to that last step. Another area that I think is crucial is economic development and having those businesses come in. We're seeing a lot of growth out in Precinct 4, houses and development. And so making sure that we address the needs from a standpoint of having our roads up to date and doing the things that we need to do for those individuals. But all in all, I think we all win if we can get more businesses coming in that airport project would do. It's going to help take off some of the tax burden off of you and I as citizens and put it more on industry and business that's in our economy, and that is where our future lies, and to help us lower our tax rates and be better prepared for each of you as constituents.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Cross, you'll take this question next. Did you need me to repeat it?
Yes.
Discuss in detail Precinct 4. What areas of growth and change in Precinct 4 are on your radar? And what specific new services or changes would you bring to Precinct 4 over this term in office?
I think that I would change the way that our roads are being oiled. I have my own plan, and I think that we could use that money to oil. I know I can oil a lot more roads for a lot less money because I just don't agree with the process that they're using now. So I think that right there would save us some money with that. And go ahead and repeat the question again so I can make sure I'm getting all of it.
What areas of growth and change in Precinct 4 are on your radar?
Okay. As far as the growth too, I think that out there at the barn that we're in desperate need of like a wash bay, and I would like to make sure that we get one constructed out there too, because I don't like our county trucks. You know, people use their hard-earned money as taxpayers. I like to see our trucks clean going up and down these roads, so I'd definitely use that money there. Yes.
All right. And Mr. Few, would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, sir, please.
Discuss in detail Precinct 4. What areas of growth and change in Precinct 4 are on your radar? And what specific new services or changes would you bring to Precinct 4 over this term in office?
Well, I would think that I'd like to see a lot more businesses come into Precinct 4. A lot of potential right there, a lot of open space in Precinct 4. I think we could get some new businesses in. Again, like Commissioner Whitworth, I think the airport is very, very important to us. I think it could bring a big interest to a lot of other businesses. I'm definitely for them. And I would focus on a lot of these county roads that's got ignored for years. The last several months, we've spent days and days riding around, talking to people, meeting people, Glen Fawn area, Joinerville, that said they have not had county roads fixed in 9 years. Something's got to change. I mean, stuff that you don't even want to ride your car down, it just tears it to pieces. So I would focus on a lot of these areas that felt like they have been ignored and they haven't been heard. I would start in them areas and try to see if we couldn't mend the bridges between the taxpayers and the county, and just do everything we could to get as far as we can on the budget we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Few. Commissioner Whitworth, you have 30 seconds for rebuttal.
Yes, so Precinct 4 has adopted the most aggressive road reel and program around. We have a very extensive process that we go through, replacing culverts, cleaning ditches, getting the limbs trimmed back, and we mill off the top 2 inches. We produce our product in our pug mill, have that out, and so we're stretching the dollar. I can tell you exactly the amount of oil, the exact amount of sand, the exact amount of rock in our mixture. So getting those roads done in an efficient manner. We have 312 miles of county roads in Precinct 4.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, candidates. We'll move on now to Justice of the Peace, Precinct 4. Candidate number 1, Miss Ashley Ferguson, you'll go first with your intro.
Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for the chance to interview for this job. That's what tonight is. It's not for your entertainment, but to show our county who they're hiring. I'm here to show you that I am the right woman for the job. I am Ashley Ferguson, and first and foremost, I'm a child of God and will strive to uphold myself as one at all times. I'm a lifetime resident of Rusk County and have lived in Precinct 4 for all of my adult life. I've been married to my husband, Coulter, for almost 14 years, and we have 2 children. We are all active within our county and our community. We are members of Bar None Cowboy Church, where we serve on many teams. When I say we, I mean the children too, because we are raising our children to know that community service isn't for recognition or for payment of a fine, but a commandment and the foundation for building good character. If you know my family and I, you know that we are a team, and most of our activities are done with group effort. So while you see me sitting here on this platform alone tonight, know that I have the greatest team standing beside me to help best serve you. I am not motivated out of money or title, but out of duty, and that duty is to better serve the public. I have almost 14 years of justice court experience, with the last 13 of those being with JP3. In my first year as a clerk, I became a Level 1 certified criminal clerk. In the following year, I advanced to become Rusk County's first master court clerk. At that time, there were only a few dozen in the whole state. I will be dedicated to continuing to educate myself to be able to correctly apply and uphold the law. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new and better yourself to serve others, and it is my promise to you that I will dedicate myself to fair, fresh, and efficient service. In the words of Henry Ford, if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always gotten. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ferguson. The next candidate, George Tom Dumas. Mr. Dumas, you have the floor.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to thank the chamber for bringing all of this together. I know it's not an easy thing to put all this together, but they've done a good job, and I appreciate that. As was said, my given name is George. Most people know me as Tom. I was named after my grandfather, Bo Dumas, whose also given name was George. So we've been around this neck of the woods for a long time. My grandfather settled here in the early 1930s in a little community of Shake Rack. My dad graduated from Carlisle High School. My son attended Carlisle High School. My grandchildren attend Carlisle now. So I have deep roots in the community. I've been married to my wife, Bobby Sue, for 36 years. We have 2 children, 7 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren. So I've worked for Texas Eastman for the last 31 years. I started at Texas Eastman as entry-level employee, and through hard work and dedication, worked my way up to a team manager, a position that I've held for 18 years. I managed the day-to-day operation of a chemical plant while supervising 2 crews. I'm retiring this year and just want to try to give back to the community some. My community involvement runs deep. My wife and I are members of the First Baptist Church of Laneville, where I currently serve as a deacon. We both serve on various committees and ministries, including a mission trip to the Amazon basin this past summer. My wife and I have been involved in the Awana ministry for 25 years, where we served on the Northeast Texas ministry team, discipling and mentoring kids of all ages. I have taught the Awana program and helped churches start their own Awana program here in Rusk County and all over East Texas. I've been involved in youth activities and have taken youth to numerous youth camps, hosted numerous D-Nows, and attended, there's no telling how many youth rallies in this county. I have served as president of the Hoheim Prairie Branch 106 Farm Mutual Association for the last 8 years.
Thank you, Mr. Dumas. Our next speaker will be candidate 3, the incumbent Judge Darlene Childress. Judge Childress, you have the floor.
Good evening. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and I also want to thank the chamber for allowing us to come before you. I am the current Justice of the Peace. I am first and foremost a child of God, and I do believe in God, and I attend, actually a member of Bar None Cowboy Church, but currently my husband and I are attending Carlisle Baptist Church. My husband and I have been married for 50 years. We have lived in the Precinct 4 for 44 of those years. We have 2 children, 4 grandchildren, who did or are currently going to Carlisle School. I'm very active was very active in the Carlisle School District with PTO, organizing Relay Day. I organized fire prevention programs. My husband and I both were members of the Carlisle Volunteer Fire Department as firefighters, and I was also a secretary. I was a member of the Henderson Rescue Unit for many years. I supported Rusk County 4-H, and I am a very proud supporter of the Rusk County Youth Project show, and will continue. There just isn't enough time to say it all. I was a clerk for 10 years before I became judge. I was appointed by the Commissioner's Court for 8 months. So all total, between the appointment, the clerk, and the judge, I have 30 years in the justice system. I am experienced and knowledgeable enough to be the only choice for the next Justice of the Peace for Precinct 4. I would greatly appreciate your vote, your prayers, and your continued support. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Dumas, you'll take question number 1 first. Do you anticipate any changes to the function of JP4 in the next 4 years due to growth or caseload? Please discuss your approach to serving this position and managing the caseload of the precinct.
Not being involved in that, I don't know exactly what the caseload is. But I do know that through hard work, dedication, and time management that we should be able to get that done. I don't have any problem working hard, doing whatever needs to be done to see that the cases get processed through like they're supposed to. One of the big things that I would change, well, I can't say that I would change, but that I would actively try to see happen is get out in the community and let the people know who the elected officials are. You'd be surprised how many people out in the county don't know who your elected officials are. So, and I believe being in the community and giving to the community and just being involved is worth just, there's no amount of money or anything that you could put on what that's worth. It's just a wonderful opportunity to be able to serve.
Thank you, Mr. Dumas. Judge Childress, you'll take the question next. Would you like me to repeat it?
Please.
Do you anticipate any changes to the function of JP4 in the next 4 years due to growth or caseload management? Please discuss your approach to serving this position in that light.
Oh, yes. There's always growth. Every time the legislators meet, there's new laws that come out, so we have to follow those laws. There's always going to be growth, and you're going to always have issues. The county does not pay overtime, so some people say the Justice of the Peace is a part-time job. Some say it needs to be a full-time job. I disagree with both. I think it's a 24/7, 365 days a year position. I work a lot of overtime. I work holidays, nights, weekends. It doesn't matter. If the job needs to get done, I'm there. My clerks may not be able to be there because they won't be able to get paid, but I do put those hours in when they're needed. And I try to do the best job that I can, and I always pray before I go into court to make sure that God is with me when I make those judgments. And I guess that's all.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Ferguson, you'll take this question next. Would you like me to repeat it? Do you anticipate any changes to the function of JP4 in the next 4 years due to growth or the caseload? Discuss your approach to managing this position in that light.
So Precinct 4 is a very rural area. There is not a lot of business or industry, especially in the JP4 district. However, people are flocking here like crazy. They're moving from out of state. The precinct is growing in numbers. This will change the caseload. I do anticipate that will add to it, both in civil and criminal. Precinct 4 also has a very active constable. That also changes the caseload. You also have the legislator that meets every 4 years, and they do add new unfunded mandates to our duties every single time. So that does change the caseload as well. As far as me changing anything, I would like to see the office open more and just running more efficiently with the way that our tax dollars are spent in that office.
Very good. Mr. Dumas, you have an opportunity for a 30-second rebuttal if you wish to have it.
No, sir, I'm good.
Okay. Question 2, and Judge, you'll take this one first. Please discuss the truancy cases being sent out of county for process. Is this how you prefer it? If so, why? If you favor returning this function to the JP courts, please discuss the impact on the office in personnel and cost and the potential benefits to citizens and school districts.
Okay, that is a good question. Truancy is a very serious situation. We need our kids back in school, and I'm very serious about that. For 19 years, I have been a JP. The end of March, it'll be 20 years. I have had other precincts put file in my precinct. So the schools have that option to where they want to file their cases. Anywhere the school is, if they can put it in any precinct within the county. Like I said, I've had other precinct schools put in my county, my precinct. I'm understanding that apparently there's some that the school has filed from Carlisle School and has put it in precinct 3. That's their right. They have that option. I have no control over that whatsoever. The laws have changed where we have only certain things that we can do, and there's a lot of things that we cannot do. And I follow the law to a letter. But I consistently ask that, or push that the kids get back in school. That's my main goal. Make sure the kids get back in school. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Ferguson, you'll take this question next. Did you want me to repeat it? Please discuss the truancy cases being sent out of precinct or out of county for process. Is this how you prefer it? If so, why? And if you favor returning the function to the JP courts, please discuss the impact on the office in personnel and cost and the potential benefits to the citizens and the school districts.
So it is the school district's choice to file anywhere within the county. They can file in any of the 5 precincts. However, it is not the way that I prefer it to have out-of-precinct ISDs filing in different precincts. This is inefficient because your students, faculty, and parents are having to travel many miles round trip just to have a case heard. This keeps the kids out of school longer and puts more burden on the employees of that school, as well as the parents who are having to take off work to attend these cases. I would like to see that return to Precinct 4 and have the ISDs able to file right there 6 miles down the road from their school.
Thank you. Make sure I stay in order. And Mr. Dumas, you'll take the question next.
Thanks. I would like to see these cases come back to JP4 for the schools that are in our district. I'd like to find out why they're going to different districts. Maybe there is something that needs to be changed there, and I believe if we reach out and work with the schools, we can find out what that is. But I would like to see them come back because I believe that the JP office and all county offices ought to work with the schools in the county, and especially that's in their district. Get to know the superintendents, get to know the principals, and build that relationship to bring those cases back to district or back to JP4 court. I know that it would increase the caseload. There's no way around it. You have people that are coming back to file those cases. It will increase the caseload. There again, not knowing exactly what the caseload is, I can't speak to how much hardship or extra time on the clerks and the judge. I just don't know. But I know that it would cost money. I mean, anytime you have to pay people to do a job, it costs money. So I believe that we can handle that. Just make sure that, we work together. I believe we can come up with a solution.
Very good. Judge Childress, would you like to use your 30-second
I
rebuttal
would.
opportunity?
We actually had a meeting set up during the ice storm so that we could meet with the school to figure out why this was happening, because I have no idea why it was happening. We were also going to set up a government class where we could go in and explain what a JP does, what a constable does, what a clerk does. We have not set that meeting up yet, but it is on our to-do. My main clerk is out. She had to have emergency gallbladder surgery.
Thank you, Judge Childress. And that'll be the end of our questions for the JP4 candidates tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have our candidates for Rusk County Judge. And our first candidate for Rusk County Judge is the incumbent, Judge Joel Hale. Judge Hale, you have 2 minutes for your opening statement.
Thank you, John. Thank you to the chamber. Good evening. My name is Joel Hale. I'm your current county judge. My wife, Barbara, raise your hand, Barbara. And one of my sons, Clay, is back there. Raise your hand, Clay. And I appreciate them coming. My oldest son, Cliff, and his wife, Nancy, couldn't come, and we have 10 grandchildren. My church is the First Methodist Church. My education, I had a scholarship to Tulane University, which paid for my education, and I was blessed to have that. When I came back here, I went to Stephen F. Austin and got my master's. And my work experience, I started out as a teacher coach. I was assistant principal. I was principal. I was director. I left the school after 34 years and went to work for Encana Oil and Gas as a Department of Transportation specialist. Main thing I did was put information on wells in a computer. What this job entails: it requires training and yearly continuing education. I work with the Commissioner's Court, and I am the budget officer. I do that through working with the auditor. I handle uncontested probate, mental commitments, uncontested guardianships. I am the designee for emergency management, although we have an emergency management coordinator, Michael Henry. And I work with the DA's office on pleas and jail list weekly, and monthly I do docket calls. I have always tried to be available to you, and I'm very conscious about how we spend your money. This is my 16th year, and I'm not going to change. I serve at the will of the people, and I would appreciate your vote.
Thank you, Judge. Our next candidate will be Mr. Leo Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank y'all for being here. Yeah, I'm a United States Army veteran. I was in the military from 1990 to October 1998. I've been in the Rusk County Courthouse for a little over 20 years, different offices. I was in the district clerk's office, in the district attorney's office, and now I'm in the veteran service officer. I've been doing this for 16 years, helping veterans. So my military experience, what I did was, my last 4 years was administrative specialist S1. So I did a lot of work with the commander of our unit, and I did a lot of paperwork, did administrative paperwork, and just kept everything in the S1 office like it should be, so everybody can find their paperwork. But me being in this new job, if y'all hire me, I would for the dedication in everything I do as a county judge. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Mr. Bennett, Mr. Nick Bennett is our third candidate. I'm sorry, let me introduce you appropriately.
No, you're okay.
You have the floor, Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, sir. My name is Nicholas Bennett. I'm an attorney here in Rusk County. First and foremost, I'm an immigrant. I was adopted by Daryl and Gail Bennett. Mom's here. My dad passed away in April of last year. I want to thank the Democratic Party for showing up. I see a bunch of blue out there. That's good to see. Running unopposed for March, but November is going to be the real showdown. And I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting everybody to really get to know what the needs of the community are. Currently at the DA's office as a prosecutor, and so I've been there for 3.5 years. My math is right, and so this is kind of my next step to serve the community. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. We'll move on to our first question. Mr. Gonzalez, you'll take this question first. Please discuss the county community relations and outreach efforts and how you would balance public input, information transparency, and efficient meetings at the same time. Considering the increasing demands of the public, would the county consider a public information office if you were the county judge?
If I believe that it is needed, yes, I will do that, but we'll have to see if that is possible. I guess we have to go through the commissioner court, but yeah, if it's possible and if we need it, yes.
Mr. Bennett, would you like me to repeat the question?
Sure.
Please discuss the county community relations and outreach efforts. Specifically, how you would balance public input, information transparency, and efficient meetings. Considering the increasing demands of the public, would the county consider a public information office if you were the county judge?
Honestly, currently right now, I think we don't have any transparency. So a public information office would be great to be able to be more transparent. As far as, could you repeat part of that?
Please discuss community relations and outreach efforts and how you would balance public input, information transparency, and efficient meetings.
And honestly, what we don't have is any town halls to where we can, as a citizens, get together and talk to our elected officials. Our commissioner's court is in charge of the budget, but yet we don't have an input into it. You know, a quarterly budget meeting like everybody, all the businesses have. Why can't we have that? That's one idea. Thank you.
Judge Hill, would you like me to repeat the question?
I don't think so. I feel like our court is transparent. All our offices are open. I put my cell phone out there. People call me all the time to ask me questions. People that come in my office to talk to me. We have time for that. As far as a public information officer, if we felt that was necessary, we could do that. But we still got to be within the parameters of what we have to spend.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Gonzalez, you have the opportunity for a 30-second rebuttal if you wish. Okay, we'll move on to the second question. This question will be answered by Judge Hale first. What major changes in Rusk County do you see affecting the court, the county, and the citizens over the next 4 years? What goals and measures do you feel are your highest priority besides general commissioner court business?
We have a golf course coming in the southern part of the county that's having a great impact on the values in that area, particularly for the school district. Commissioners Court gave them abatement in order to get them to come here and build that golf course. The property values went from about $165 an acre for pine timber to $3,500 an acre. They bought 2,200 acres. About 800 is already built as far as a golf course, and they're building another one. We gave an abatement to West Fraser in order to help them build their business here. We are doing things to try to improve the economy. Now, the main thing we need in the county is probably more housing, and more housing is going to have an impact as far as our county roads and what we need to do as far as keeping those up and running.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Gonzalez, you'll have that question next. Would you like me to repeat it?
Yes, sir.
What major changes in Rusk County do you see affecting the court, the county, and the citizens over the next 4 years? And what goals and measures do you feel are your highest priority outside the general court business?
Well, like the judge was saying about that golf course in Mount Enterprise, that's going to be good for the county. There is a group that I've been talking to that are veterans that are trying to build a resource center on 1798 in County Road 492, I believe. I have a meeting with them on Saturday. It's something that they get money from donors, and they go out and they built a lot of these resource centers in different states just to help the community. So that's supposed to be starting up next year if everything goes well. So hopefully that will definitely help the county.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bennett?
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to repeat the question?
Sure.
What major changes in Rusk County do you see affecting the court, the county, and the citizens over the next 4 years? What goals and measures do you feel are your highest priority besides general commissioner's court business?
Well, it sounds like from what Judge Hale has said, the county is expanding business-wise, which will, attract people, we hope. But it also attracts bad characters into our community, those who don't want to live by our rules, our standards. And so law enforcement is going to be needed. And we're going to have to address mental health services. We're going to have to address juvenile issues. I know Ms. Sue Ellen Perry's here. She teaches at high school. And we've got to be able to address all those issues too as we grow. We cannot just put that on the back burner.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Judge Hale, you have the option for a 30-second rebuttal.
I don't think I need.
Very good. That'll end our county judge participation for the evening. Thank you, gentlemen. Come on up, judges. Before we start this last segment, will be our county court at law, I'd like to go ahead and make the closing statement, because when we're done, I know y'all are going to want to go home. To any citizen that steps into the ring of sacrifice to serve your community, I sincerely thank you for all of the county. We have much to be proud of in this place we call home. And all of you have put yourself out for measure, so thank you very much. I need to say thank you again to Bonnie at the Chamber, the wonderful staff here at the Civic Center in the city of Henderson, KWRD, Michael Searcy, and the radio group for broadcasting us live on YouTube, and KWRD will be rebroadcasting it in Henderson Daily News for being ever present. And my boys at Blazer Electric bought your tacos, so they say you're welcome. And now we'll move on to the county court at law. Our first candidate tonight is Ms. Sue Ellen Perry. Ms. Perry, you have the floor for your 2-minute introduction.
Thank you, John. My name is Sue Ellen Perry, and I'm here to earn your vote for Rusk County Court at Law Judge. I'm a lifelong Christian. I attend First Methodist Church with my family. God is the center of my life and guides everything I do, how I work, how I serve, how I live. I'm proud to call Rusk County home. My roots here run very deep. I come from a long line of priors who settled in Churchill over 100 years ago. And my daddy, Wayne Lays, ran Lays Electric here for 30 years before his death. After finishing law school 25 years ago, I came back to Texas, passed the Texas bar, and I've been practicing in Texas ever since. I began my career in Tyler, working for a federal judge. Later, I served as an assistant U.S. attorney in the Eastern District of Texas, representing our nation in financial litigation and asset recovery. I spent 10 years at one of the top litigation law firms in the nation, and today I continue serving as the city attorney and prosecutor for our own Mount Enterprise. I have over 10 years of experience in Texas family law, working on the ground and in the trenches as a court-appointed special advocate, or CASA, and as an amicus, serving to protect the best interests of children in foster care and family disputes who are thrust into the legal system. I'm well qualified to be your county court at law judge, and I have the work ethic and heart for service to make a real difference in Rusk County. I was the first person in my family to go to college. I put myself through college and law school and spent 15 years paying back every penny of the money I had to borrow to make that happen. When God called me into public service, I took a leap of faith and a 90% pay cut to come home and teach public school to make a positive impact for our youth. I'm now following God's call once again, and I ask you to vote for me for Rusk County Court at Law Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Perry.
And everyone for being here. I know you had things you had to give up to be here, and I appreciate your being interested in these forums. I'm Chad Westdean. I'm running for the county court at law, and I've been a lifetime resident of Rusk County. If there's information more about my history, and we have it at the table here today, but I've had 28 years of legal practice in the general areas that affect this court and are in this court. In fact, I was here and practiced before the district judge at one time. We didn't have a county court law judge. And when it was formed, I was practicing when it was formed back in the mid-1980s. I've also had, in addition to that 28 years, 19 years on the bench here, and I appreciate the opportunity to serve y'all and to serve this bench during that period of time. I've tried to be fair. I'm committed to my work. I'm committed to this county. I'm committed to my community, and I appreciate the life here in Henderson and in Rusk County. I've been a lifetime member of the First Baptist Church of Henderson and a deacon and a teacher there. I've been selected by the Henderson Chamber of Commerce as Man of the Year. I've been happily married, this is the most important one, to Kim, and we had 3 children and are blessed with 9 grandchildren now. You maybe see me with them here tonight. While practicing law in Henderson, I served as the Henderson City Attorney, the Henderson City Judge, and for the first attorney for the HEDCO Economic Development Board when it was created here in Rusk County. I served on the East Texas Board for Attorney Disciplinary Conduct for 6 years over grievance complaints on attorneys coming out of Smith,
Thank you,
Gregg,
Judge Dean.
and Cherokee and Rusk counties.
We'll go ahead and move on to question number 1. Ms. Perry, you'll take this question first. Please discuss your approach to self-represented litigants to include indigent cases that request provided representation. Particularly discuss indigent verification and how you would see it if the law allowed your discretion.
Thank you. In our county, there are many self-representing litigants. Attorneys are expensive. There are a great number. You can see those numbers on the Office of Court Administration. And we have 1,000 cases pending approximately in the county court at law now, and many of those are self-represented. I think the most important thing is to remember even-handedness and fairness in approaching every case on its merits. And what that requires is that a party that is not represented by legal counsel is neither disadvantaged or given special advantage because of that. They come into the court and they are, for better or worse, expected to be held to the same standard as a represented party. At the same time, I think that there's a lot of room for providing materials and guidelines and education outside of court where you could give more guidance to those in the community in the event they ever needed to self-represent in our system. Regarding the indigent requirements, that's also a very important issue because in addition to being responsible for the court docket, I think we owe a duty as judge to balance and protect the taxpayer money. And so I do believe in additional verification for indigent qualifications. And I don't have a perfect answer for that. There are opportunities we could do that without adding a great expense or additional resources, whether it be through verification of tax returns, searches of the records, the appraisal records for property ownership, other manners that would not put a greater burden on the court, but that would at least allow us to make sure that the taxpayers are not being taken advantage of in that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Judge Dean, would you like me to repeat the question?
No, sir, I'm good. Indigency, okay, there's two areas where indigency is important to this court. One is in the criminal misdemeanor aspect. Criminal A, B, and C misdemeanors are handled by this court. Okay, most of the time those aren't felony grade and they're punishable by up to 1 year. And people tend to come through there, have made some kind of a mistake. And yes, if they want an attorney and they're indigent, that's determined pretty quickly. I can't think of anyone who has complained about the system in the past where it's worked, and it's always, well, actually it's improved since I've been in office because initially we followed up with what used to be done, which was to question the people in court under oath about their finances. Now we have them fill out a sheet of paper under oath, subject to perjury, and if any information comes along before we pay their attorney or after we pay their attorney, I would turn that over to the district attorney if they lied under that oath. So doing a lot of time consuming, having to hire another individual to look up their their financial background, I think would be very unnecessary, and it has not been the practice of the court. There's also the civil area for appointing indigent attorneys, and that's in ad litem appointments for both not only children, but for their parents if the case is such that the government entities are trying to take their children away from them or even change custody. So those are required, and certainly indigency requirements have to be met that are by the state, which is that for one individual it's like around $18,000 to $20,000, I believe, and somewhere between $23,000 and $25,000.
Thank you, Judge Dean.
For a couple.
Ms. Perry, you have 30 seconds for a rebuttal.
Thank you. And I would like to clarify, I believe in the Constitution and I do believe in the Sixth Amendment right to counsel. But again, without having to hire an additional person and without just trusting that whoever's on the bench or filling out the paper is telling you the truth, I think that it's important to be a leader of the court and to make sure that we are protecting the taxpayer money. I think there are ways to do that without adding great expense or additional resources required. Thank you.
Thank you. And for our final question, Judge Dean, you'll take this one first. Business typically sees efficiency as revenue. Explain case management orders to the non-lawyers in the crowd. Do you favor or oppose them? If not, what other tools would you employ to provide the most valuable efficiency in your court?
And can you define for me what you're meaning by case management orders? Because there's nothing that I've ever heard of called that exactly. Can you clarify
The
that?
instructions to the lawyers following up to keep the schedule moving forward. Maybe I used the wrong term.
Okay,
They're sometimes
scheduling
called
orders.
docket-
All
or-
right.
or docket
I under-
control orders.
Yes, ma'am. I understand scheduling orders. When I first came into office, there was not a docket for the criminal cases. Immediately, one of the changes I made was we had a docket for criminal cases. For civil cases, there was not a docket. Okay, this court covers probate matters and it covers family law matters, primarily in the court itself. It covers a number of other things, juveniles and whatnot. Tried to implement a docket for the juvenile and it just did not work properly. Tried to conduct a docket for family law and child custody cases, and due to the very complex nature of those and the dynamic of the mother and the father and the family, it does not prevent. So here's the system that works. That one didn't work. Here's what works and what's been working is my schedule of every case I've got is on the internet for everyone to see. Now I'm the only court that I know of, and I looked, and there's no other court in East Texas that puts their docket on the internet. And the purpose of that, other than disclosure and transparency, maybe it has that, but the main purpose is that attorneys can go to that docket, look and see what's scheduled, see what the openings are, and it's the attorneys that have the primary responsibility for representing their clients, particularly in family law cases. Now, criminal cases are different. I have to move the docket. I do have a docket. It's called scheduling orders in civil cases, but it's called a criminal docket in the criminal cases. So I have not had any complaints that the attorneys cannot or prefer a different method than the one that's being used at the present.
Yeah, thank you, Judge. Ms. Perry, do you want me to butcher that again, or you got it?
I think I have it. I am a believer in docket control orders or case management orders. Even if they don't work in every case, even if you do have to change deadlines, what this does is give a roadmap to litigants and to attorneys. It tells them what the deadlines are going to be for discovery. It tells them what the trial date's going to be. They know that is their North Star. They know it from the very beginning. It allows them to plan. It allows them to prepare. It allows these families to save resources instead of extending these cases out longer than they need to be and incurring additional legal expenses with that delay. But most importantly, I don't think it should be about the attorney preference. The most important thing that I would do as judge is protect the best interests of the children that are the subject of those family law cases. And I've been on the ground with those kids. I'm the one who's been their amicus, and I'm the one they've asked, why is this taking so long? Why can't I get this dealt with? It causes them emotional distress. It causes them to be in limbo. They need stability. This would allow a system where even if there were exceptions to it in cases that needed it, that were particularly complex, it would allow us to move those cases and be able to answer those questions for kids and get them the stability that they need. I also believe in scheduling orders because it will hold the feet to the fire of the adults. That's what I wanted to say about that. I think that what is being done now is not necessarily working very well. I mean, we have 1,000+ cases pending in the court. There's a clearance rate. If you have a clearance rate of 100, that's treading water. That means you're getting rid of as many cases each year as you're adding. And our court is averaging 90 or 95, so we're not even meeting that 100 threshold. I think docket control orders would allow more efficiency and save the county resources and money. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Perry. Judge Dean, you have 30 seconds for rebuttal.
All right, thank you. With regard to attorneys, amicus attorneys, ad litem attorneys have the ones that are representing the kids, they have an equal right to ask the court for a scheduling order. I have never turned down a scheduling order. I leave it up to the attorneys. When you're dealing with children and you're dealing with families, you don't try to push them in to having to spend a bunch of money to move through the court just so the court can move faster. We do not have a caseload problem. We do not have a caseload problem at all.
Thank you, Judge Dean. Folks, thank you for coming this evening. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to have dinner and politics with us. God bless you. Drive safe going home.